50 years of guaranteeing an education to all students, regardless of their abilities.
A promise that students' voices would not be silenced, excluded.
A landmark law with a promise: free, appropriate education in the least restrictive setting for all. Boston 25 News is celebrating the achievements of students and educators in special education.
It feels kind of nice to just know that even if you go down, you can always rise back up.
It gave our students a chance to be heard, to be respected, and to be recognized,
while acknowledging the barriers that still exist for young people with disabilities in our state.
Speak up. You can't be silent.
An hour-long, in-depth special, 50 Years of Special Education, begins now.
Hi everyone, I'm Carrie Kavanaugh. Throughout the year, Boston 25 has been marking the 50th anniversary of the birth of modern special education. In 1975, Congress passed what is now known as the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, or IDEA. We've told you stories celebrating the wins while acknowledging the struggles that still exist. Now we're sharing them all in this 60-minute in-depth special, and we have a panel of expert guests talking about what's next for IDEA. Let's begin with a look at how educational collaboratives are having a big impact. School districts collaborate to provide regional programs and services. But with physical space in short supply, some are struggling to keep up with demand.
You can have a turn.
When you look at the students in this classroom, you might only see the challenges they face.
All right, I heard Mary wants a turn.
But at the Kevin O'Grady School in Beverly, the focus isn't on the hurdles, rather everything they can achieve.
Not cold, like real snow.
The lesson on this day was a sensory exploration of winter weather.
Anyone want to feel the wind?
Success is measured in smiles, small movements, and subtle sounds.
As soon as we came here, we felt like we belonged.
Shannon Perry says her 9-year-old daughter Mary has had medical complications since the first weeks of her life. She has cerebral palsy, is nonverbal, needs her wheelchair to get around. She has a GI tube. A typical school was never an option for Mary.
We were totally in the dark about this path we were going on.
Shannon says thankfully the Danvers School District, where the family lives, quickly referred her here.
Hey, Mary. Hi.
Mary started at age 3 and has attended daily ever since.
She smiles in anticipation of things. She's learned to use her right arm to indicate wants and needs. So both in school, both in school and at home.
None of us can learn or meet our maximum potential if we don't feel like we belong.
Fran Rosenberg is the executive director of the North Shore Education Consortium. The Kevin O'Grady School is one of their programs. She's also president of MOAC, or the Massachusetts Organization of Educational Collaboratives.
Every child has the right to not just an appropriate education, but a great education, right? And that we should be able to provide that for all of our kids.
But Rosenberg says Massachusetts has a capacity problem, especially for children with behavioral disorders, social emotional issues, and severe autism. There are 24 collaboratives in Massachusetts helping school districts meet the needs of all children. 18 recently responded to a survey revealing all but one have students on a wait list. 489 students are either on those wait lists or the programs had to decline their acceptance altogether.
When you talk about capacity issues, it sounds like maybe some kids aren't getting that appropriate part of what they should be getting.
I think unfortunately there are. I think people in schools really care about doing what's right for kids, but they're really up against tight resources.
Rosenberg says funding for special education is done primarily on the local level.
Unfortunately, when there aren't enough dollars going to the system, you're sort of pitting different groups of kids against each other.
So this year, advocates are pushing lawmakers to re-examine how the funds are allocated so that all kids who need this type of education can get it.
How important are places like this to kids like Mary?
This is the place in this world where Mary is just like everybody else. She fits in, and she's just Mary here.
MOAC continues to ask the state to reimburse local districts for more of the costs of special education for kids with disabilities. That would take some of the cost burden off of cities and towns and hopefully allow some of these vital resources to expand. Now, for some students with disabilities, a typical school setting just doesn't meet their needs. In some cases, they're even kicked out of them. We're taking you now inside a Rockland school that's giving students a second chance. Print blocking in the Innovation Lab.
Yeah, I'll sell you this railroad for 200.
Using board games to develop critical thinking and problem-solving skills as part of math class. But for students at the North River School in Rockland, it's not just the lessons that are engaging them. It's the approach they needed.
A lot of the teachers here, I got like personal connections with. It's like really not even like their teachers, it's like their friends.
I didn't even get a chance to step foot in a regular high school.
Ibo Biatzas and Kyle Johnson are seniors at North River. Both tell me they have ADHD, struggled in a typical school setting, and made some bad decisions.
Basically getting into a lot of fights and not doing what I need to do.
Being here made me realize like I didn't need to do those stupid things. You could just be yourself.
North River is an alternative middle and high school for students with social and emotional disorders. The small school of about 36 kids creates a more personalized approach to their education.
Like it's not like, oh, it's a teacher telling me what to do. Like they talk to you on why you should do it, reasons to do it, like to make you strive to be better here.
Where do you think you would be if you didn't find this school?
Jail, probably.
Either one of the two, dead or in jail.
Dead or in jail.
So us helping them to realize you can have a positive vision, you can have positive relationships in the future is really where we start with them here.
Paul Jovalos is the executive director of the North River Collaborative. He says when kids walk in these doors, they work to pull them out of the stigma that they're the bad kids.
Our students here are, are students who have maybe had a trauma, maybe made some difficult decisions in the past, but are very capable, and they're not here for a negative reason. They're here because they just need a higher level of support.
And that support has paid off.
I was kind of like giving up on myself and felt the world around me giving up on me too.
When he was a kid, Chris Poe was expelled after bringing a knife to school. His parents started seeking alternative options. He says in this building, he finally saw a positive vision of his own future. He graduated North River and then enlisted in the National Guard. His next job?
My man.
How you doing, buddy?
Led him back home. He's now the North River custodian.
You can screw up terribly. You can feel like you're irredeemable. If you're willing to change, other people will come into your life and help you change.
We're not focused on students coming here with us and staying here forever. We want them to be successful.
Successful.
It feels good. Like it feels like I'm finally like in control of my life for once.
And thriving.
This was like my last opportunity and I did take it and it helped out really well.
It did. Both Ibo and Kyle earned their diplomas in May. So while reporting on the 50th anniversary of modern special education, I heard a frequent concern that not all special education is the same. Some schools lack the teachers, therapists, or resources to address students' complex needs. 25 Investigates connected with a Boston mom who says she feels like her child is in exile.
What they did was they absolutely sabotaged my son.
Sequoia Craig says a lack of resources and supports for her son derailed his education. The Jamaica Plain mother says her 18-year-old son has emotional and physical disabilities.
His IEP stems from trauma.
She asked that we not identify her son. His IEP, or Individualized Education Plan, calls for therapeutic supports for PTSD, depression, and ADHD, plus accommodations for sickle cell anemia.
They would target him, and when he was crying out for help and wanted to speak to someone, they would suspend him, making false allegations against him. They just put him in exile.
For the last 3 years, her son has attended the Mel King South End Academy, formerly the McKinley, Boston's therapeutic day school for students with social, emotional, and behavioral challenges.
If you have a disability, you have a civil right to get the supports and interventions that you need.
Edith Bazil is a parent and student advocate who says the South End Academy has long underserved its students, particularly black boys. 25 Investigates pulled state data showing in the 2023-24 school year, 171 students were enrolled in the South End Academy. More than 25% were suspended that year. It's higher, 33%, for the school's black students. Current enrollment this year down to 125.
They frequently ended up, once they arrived at the McKinley School, getting worse. Right now there's about 81.5% chronic absenteeism.
In a written statement, Boston Public Schools said in part, we are fully committed to meeting both our moral responsibility and legal obligation to provide high-quality education services to our students with disabilities. They wouldn't comment on a specific student situation.
The district said this year all staff receive specialized trauma-informed de-escalation training.
We're starting right here, literally right here.
3 years ago, standing outside the South End Academy, Boston Mayor Michelle Wu announced new construction and renovation projects to improve Boston's aging school buildings.
There was a promise to rebuild the McKinley and to provide the students with a cutting-edge facility. Nothing has happened.
Is there a timeline for any changes, though, to the physical structure at the South End Academy at this point?
We're still working through programmatic design. There are now more school renovation and rebuild projects underway in this moment than in the last 40 years combined.
Advocates say when special education fails to address students' needs, there are long-term consequences.
If a kid is acting out, but that behavior arises from their post-traumatic stress disorder, we shouldn't be punishing kids for their disability.
Leon Smith is with Citizens for Juvenile Justice, or CFJJ.
And now we're stuck in a loop where a kid falls further and further behind. They get more and more frustrated. You have more acting out behaviors.
CFJJ crunched state data showing Craig's experience is not rare. Black and brown students with disabilities are more often disciplined through suspensions. In 2022-2023, black students were 6.4% of the student population in Massachusetts, but 9.7% of black students with disabilities were suspended that school year. Hispanic Latino students accounted for 5.3% overall. 8.3% of Hispanic students with disabilities face suspensions.
What is your message to other parents who are walking in your shoes and they don't know where to turn?
Speak up. You can't be silent.
We asked Desi about discipline of students of color who have disabilities. A spokesperson said the department works with schools and districts to reduce inappropriate use of student discipline and provides training for educators in the area. We have much more ahead for you in this hour-long special. Staying positive no matter the roadblock he faces, a local student's spirit left a big impression on his school community.
He doesn't let it faze him that he has these struggles. I think it's just always, it's who he is.
He's faced a genetic disorder, multiple surgeries, and an unknown future. Meet the Medford kid who left it all on the track his senior year. But first, when it comes to special education, it's not one size fits all. We're taking you inside a school in Plymouth where the students are hitting their stride after years of struggle and self-doubt, as Boston 25 marks the 50th anniversary of modern special education. We'll be right back. Welcome back to our Boston 25 special marking 50 years of special education. Advocates say the number of students with autism in Massachusetts has more than doubled in the last 10 years. Schools are working to meet each student's needs. At a school in Plymouth, we met some students who are now hitting their stride after years of self-doubt.
We are in Pilgrim Academy in Mary's classroom.
Sixth grader John Luciano was my tour guide inside Pilgrim Academy in Plymouth.
Well, Evan, I think we're done.
To say John was proud to show off his classroom would be an understatement.
And gold is when you're doing everything correctly.
The markers of success built into the routine for this classroom of students with autism.
So how does it feel when you chip off these accomplishments every day and see your success?
It feels kind of nice to just know that even if you go down, you can always rise back up.
You can always rise back up. An important reminder for any student, especially those who are neurodivergent and before they landed at the area collaborative, struggled just to get through the day.
I just couldn't envision myself like having a future at all, if any.
11th grader Francisco Casameyer Kelly says it was around 7th grade when his typical school setting was triggering anxiety and panic attacks. The right fit for his education was a game changer.
I can just hold a conversation with anyone randomly. All these other minor things that other people don't worry about that I used to dread having to do at a normal school.
Francisco told me he has both an autism diagnosis and ADHD.
It's not just their needs from being on the autism spectrum.
Lauren Matheson's the director of clinical and therapeutic services for the Plymouth Area Collaborative. She says students often have a variety of needs.
Students that come from difficult families or who have suffered trauma, who have comorbid disabilities. We have students who also have social emotional difficulties and behavioral struggles.
But when those needs are met, success is so sweet.
So it allows for a great deal of understanding and compassion, as I have experienced many of the same struggles that they have at one point or another. Normally this would plug into the monitor right back here if I have.
Now working as education support professionals, Dan McMahon and Elijah White both once walked these halls.
What's 9 times 7?
As students.
It's like being in the middle of a mirror, because you can easily see both sides. I mean, you see where adults come from, you see where the students come from.
I try to let them know that they are not alone.
Not alone in a supportive community. Just ask John Luciano.
If somebody got hurt, somebody can help them up. If somebody is not doing good at work, somebody else can help them with the work.
And for those former students who are now teaching there, they say being in the middle of that mirror, seeing both sides, they think it gives them a unique ability to be able to help. Now I want to introduce you to a Medford student who won't let any challenge hold him back, and he has faced some big ones. Earlier this year, he showed me how his actions and life philosophy are powerful examples to others.
A gloomy day in May.
Girls 100 dash, please check in.
The sky was as gray as the track was wet, but the spirit inside Hormel Stadium would not be dampened. It was senior night for the Medford High School track team. Students like Jonathan Malerba running here as a Medford Mustang for the last time. To understand the spirit of this team, you have to know Jonathan.
He is just the brightest light on the team every day, at practice, at our meets.
Yes, let's go. Jonathan shows that you get the most out of this when you come here with the right attitude, have fun. Good job, bro. Just be supportive of your teammates.
Push, push, push! Jonathan understands the power of pushing through. His own personal challenges surfaced just before his 3rd birthday. Jonathan's speech and cognition were delayed.
They did an MRI, and then we found the first indicator of neurofibromatosis.
Had you ever even heard that word before?
No, I couldn't say it. I didn't know how to spell it.
Neurofibromatosis is a genetic disorder. That's Jonathan's mom, Melissa.
It affects 1 in every 2,500 people, so it's more common than muscular dystrophy, cystic fibrosis, Huntington's disease, and Tay-Sachs combined.
The disorder can vary person to person, and as a young child, Jonathan's case was considered mild.
Part of having neurofibromatosis is you do have full-body MRIs when you're at a certain age.
At the end of his freshman year of high school, a scan revealed tumors eating away at all 4 of Jonathan's leg bones, requiring surgeries.
He had this surgery on a Friday, and then the first day of school was on Tuesday, and he does not like to miss school. He would live there if he could.
It makes my day, to be honest. I like seeing all my teachers and friends, and just me being there really brightens up the day, and I was like that guy that made everyone know it's high school.
He is like the heart and soul of not only athletics, but like of the school culture and community.
Jonathan's coaches and teachers say he's relentlessly positive. His energy reaches every classroom and team he's a part of and beyond. When he couldn't play a sport after a surgery, he still showed up cheering on the teams or stepping in as a team photographer.
I hope we've been able to give him as much as he's given us.
Despite the setbacks, the surgeries, new tumors, and so much unknown, Jonathan has a simple mantra.
Just have a positive mood, have a positive mindset. I don't see myself as a different person in society. I want to blend in with everyone.
He doesn't let it faze him that he has these struggles. I think it's just always, it's who he is.
He just shows us that you can work hard, you can enjoy what you're doing, you can leave a major impact on your school community.
And that's not lost on Jonathan.
Some students might not have the chance to play a sport, but just me being a part of the team really makes me a role model in the community.
Great, man. It really did. And Jonathan is now at UMass Boston, living on campus. His mom, Melissa, says she wants any family dealing with this disorder to know there is a community of support. We've placed some links on our website. Head to boston25news.com. Coming up.
This isn't just a matter of education. This is a civil rights issue.
Has Massachusetts upheld the promise of IDEA? Hear from our expert panel about the work that remains to be done so that this law can reach its full potential. But first, making sure all students have essential financial skills. A local credit union has transformed into an inclusive teaching space.
Everyone deserves to learn at their own pace and in their own way, and that's what we're bringing to these students.
Your local station is taking you to Worcester County, where they're empowering students with financial independence, when our special looking at the 50 years of special education returns. Setting the stage for success and independence. As we continue our look at 50 years of special education, we turn our focus to a program in Worcester County that's helping neurodiverse students learn about finances and banking. This unique class is empowering these students with financial literacy.
Once a month, this Lancaster Credit Union transforms into a classroom.
We're going to talk about a subject that is kind of a little scary, okay? It's called scams.
These students are from the Neshoba Regional School District.
The bad guys are going to want you to act fast.
Ages 18 to 21, they're all neurodivergent. Some students are on the autism spectrum, others have Down syndrome or other genetic disorders.
Everybody needs financial education.
Kala Flannery with Workers Credit Union teaches the class.
What does the next one say? It says last month's bank statement.
My turn.
This session is about identity theft and keeping your personal information safe.
Can we all say keep? Keep. Okay, so put that under your chair. It's interactive, right? So you're putting tactile to what you just heard, and so it's solidifying the knowledge.
We learned about different bank skills.
Throw it. There you go.
I really like it here.
Grace Coyne is one of the students in this inclusive setting. It utilizes closed captioning on videos, colorblind testing for students with color sensitivities, and less complex words in lessons.
I think it's important for people to know it so they can be safer around the bank more, and people can stay safe and not get their identity stolen.
You need to have a concept of money and of how to pay bills and what you do in a bank.
Neshoba Regional teacher Allison Bell says this is a great opportunity for her students.
We want to watch another video with Jen on it? Yeah. Okay.
To gain independence.
Everyone deserves to learn at their own pace and in their own way, and that's what we're bringing to these students.
Students who can start to make financial decisions for themselves as they age out of school and head out into the community.
It's such a joy to see them learn something. Thank you all so much, and see that they are going to walk into the world and have a better foot forward.
The school district says it was Workers Credit Union that reached out to them to get this program going, and it's been a big success. When IDEA passed in 1975, Congress at the time pledged to fund 40% of the additional costs of special education. Today, it's more like 15%, and there's uncertainty around the future of that funding at the federal level.
On its 50th anniversary, we think it's a great time to take a look at this law and realize that the funding has fallen short for years. So this would be the moment to increase the funding for the next budgetary cycle. Because the U.S. Department of Education is in flux, which is where this funding usually flows from, there is uncertainty about the future of how this funding would move to states.
In November, special education advocates commemorated the anniversary of IDEA at the Kennedy Institute. Advocates say despite the celebration, barriers often remain because of a lack of federal dollars. For some students with disabilities, achievement isn't about that report card. It's putting into practice what they've learned all year.
Fun and excited, and I get to see all my friends happy and having fun.
We're taking you to the celebration for hundreds of local kids who got out of the school building and into their community. But first, IDEA guarantees a free, appropriate public education to all students, no matter the challenges they face. So are we achieving that?
We really are not realizing the full potential of IDEA.
I sit with an expert panel to talk about the barriers that still exist and possible solutions. Our special on the 50th anniversary of modern special education is back right after this.